Rust on a classic car can definitely ruin your day, but it doesn't have to, especially if you know what you're looking for. In this video, I'm going to break down some of the types of rust that you can deal with and what you should run away from. Plus, I'll break down what some repairs will cost so you can buy smart and avoid a money pit. Rust repairs can get real expensive real fast, so grab the free checklist so you can watch for the sign that could cost you thousands. Rust. What level of rust is okay? What types of rust should I stay away from? What's the deal with rust, right? So many people hear the word rust and it's a 4-letter word and they freak out, as maybe you should. I'm in California, so most of our cars aren't all that rusty. I'm sure you hear about cars from the Midwest back east that are rusted everywhere. The types of rust that I recommend you stay away from are the type of rust that's from underneath, like salted roads, like a car that's been sitting in a field with major rust. Surface rust or different areas of rust that can be repaired aren't the end of the world. I'll try to show you a few examples of different types of rust and how big of a deal I think they are or are not. Starting with this trunk on this Bonneville. Right here, see this rust here? See how it's all bubbly like that? That's never good, right? Because it looks like barnacles. That metal is totally compromised and shaling away. What that's going to lead to, if you scrape it away and don't see holes, what that's going to lead to is holes like that. Now, in the case of this trunk, you might think I need to replace the whole trunk, and I would say honestly, you don't need to. What I would do if this was a project that I bought for myself, or even for some customers, unless it's a total crazy high-end resto, is I would take a wire wheel and I'd clean all this rust off, treat it with some type of a rust converter like Por 15, and then it'll convert the rust to like a living metal. At that point, what you can do is if you have a hole like this, you can actually cut a section about like that, shape a new piece of metal, and weld it in, and metal finish it by grinding it smooth. It's a lot less intrusive to fix a number of rust spots than it is to change a whole trunk. And just fixing a few spots, if done right, isn't a structural concern. You can make it look pretty, you can eradicate the rust and be okay. On this same Bonneville, I'll show you some floor rust that doesn't concern me. So right here, I've got a bunch of rust, right? But it's all surface rust. If you were to wire wheel it, I don't see anything where it's structurally weakened. Up here, you don't see much rust by the heater core area and the toe panel like you usually see. Everything I see just seems to be moisture staining and rust. I guarantee you, if you wire wheel these floors, even the back seat area, that you could hit it with Por 15, some other rust converter, prime it, paint it at some level, and the rust will never be a problem. So another example of rust is on this 64 Chevelle where the outer wheelhouse has been rusted. It doesn't show that bad right here, causes concern. I see the rust, right? But what I'm seeing is it's starting to blister and bubble. And you can tell over time it's going to get worse. So we see how bad the bottom of this quarter panel is, right? That's not good. So this whole section here, at minimum from here down, is going to need replaced. So you can do a lower quarter section in the rear. You can do a wheelhouse outer section here to repair that, or because this is bad, this has a crease in it, and we have all these holes that we may or may not want, I think I'd probably put a quarter panel on this car. Again, a quarter panel on a car might only be a couple $1,000s. If that's the only thing wrong with the car, consider what it costs to fix it. But don't ignore rust, because something that starts like this might wind up like that or like that. If you're looking to buy a classic car, download my free checklist so you don't miss the rust that ruins everything. Another area of concern for rust specifically is going to be anytime you look at window channels. A lot of times you're going to see some rust, right? So before the window could go back in this car, you'd have to grind and treat this rust. Most of this isn't that bad. It's just eating through paint and could be cleaned up. But you want to be careful of is areas like this where you can see the rust has started to chew away and eat at the metal here and here. So those are areas that definitely would need repair. A lot of times we'll get a window where it's got a couple pinholes of rust, And what that does is it lets water leak inside the car. It gets on the wiring, gets in the cab or the passenger compartment, and wreaks havoc. To that same end, this rust right here, that's just surface rust. A lot of the guys nowadays, the rat rodders or these old truck guys, would say that's cool, that's patina. But don't be scared by just surface rust like that. If I had some sandpaper right now and I sanded that, I mean, my rough hands even took most of it away. So again, treat the rust, but don't be scared. Not all rust is that big of a deal. This Camaro is another example of where you have surface rust because it's in bare metal. So when you see this flash rusting like this here, don't be afraid. That's what metal does. If it's exposed to the air or any moisture, it's going to instantly flash rust. That doesn't mean that's a problem, but it does mean that it needs to be treated before you put primer or any type of materials on the car. We also talked a moment ago on that truck how it had problems with the window area. So on this Camaro, you can see that this whole section has already been replaced. Now these are all for all the windshield mounts and the different trims, but this had to be replaced because it's very uncommon that you get rust in lower windshield areas. And again, like I said, anywhere that's around a window, like a cowl panel, a back window, make sure there are no holes in there because that's going to let water inside the passenger compartment and cause big problems in the long run. So another example of where you're going to find a lot of rust is going to be behind the rear wheels and behind the front fender wells. So right here on this Skylark, you can see this lower drop panel is rusted here because water comes down in here and this was probably plugged. And then at some point it finally rusted its way through. You can see, I mean, I've got a bunch of stuff flopping around in there. I think honestly I might even pull out a socket. There it is. I bet it's a 10 millimeter. You ever hear those jokes about missing 10 millimeters? Anyways, this type of rust is extremely common, not the hardest to fix, but just know to look for that. Now I'll show you some other spots for rust that I'm scared of. One place I look for rust all the time is on the bottom of the fenders. I just showed you on that Skylark how the rear quarter panel was rusted. A lot of cars are going to rust out here at the bottom of the fender, at the bottom of the door, because water will collect in the door. It's supposed to drain out. Same in here. So it's very common that you'll get rust down here near the bolt that mounts the fender to the body. This car looks like it's okay there. The other thing that really scares me is when you look at rocker panels. This is called your pinch weld. When you get really bad rust, what you'll see is this panel and another panel all squeezed together right here. And so a rule with rust is if I have a rust hole here, I can cut it out and get to good metal and weld in a patch. When you get rust on a body convergence like this, a pinch weld or a seam, you've got 3 layers that are coming together. And if they're starting to expand, like if you've ever been scuba diving or snorkeling and you see metal that's underwater and it's just starting to crackle and spread and blister, if you have that, it's virtually impossible to fix because what layer do you peel to get to another layer, to get to another layer? And then if you do, can you weld them back together? So be really cautious of rust at pinch welds or like where frame mounts come to bodies, stuff like that. Again, a metal patch, not the hardest thing to do, although you'll have to repair your paint, but just be really careful about falling victim to buying a car that's got rust in the wrong places. So on this Chevelle is a good example of floor rust, right? We talked about the rust on the Pontiac, that it's not that bad, it's mostly surface rust. But here on this car, you can see where I've got a big rust hole here. Not uncommon that the heater core leaked and created rust here. But we're also rusted all the way right here, in this hole here, and here. So it looks like the tunnel's good, but what we're gonna need to do is do a floor pan patch. If you look at the back floor looks decent. So we don't need to do a full floor pan replacement. Generally speaking, when you do a floor rust repair, there's a couple ways to do it. You can get a patch, which a lot of times will be a quarter floor patch, or you can get a whole side pan, or you can get a whole floor complete. But generally speaking, if your tunnel's good, you'll do a side patch. So that's going to be way less intrusive. A generic guess, $500 repair. A whole side, $1,000 repair. If you're doing a whole floor set, it's probably at least a few grand. It's a lot of work. So, but this doesn't scare me that bad. I can do one floor patch here, clean up the floors, coat them, and we're done. But that's a good example of what you're going to see when you look at floor rust. This is a perfect example of rust that I would run from. In this case, it's a car that's been sitting near the ocean, and the salt water in the air has completely rusted away the metal. You also see this if you live in the Midwest or back east, because the roads have been treated with salt to try to melt the snow, and it's awful on metal. In order to weld metal, you need some good metal to actually adhere to. In this case, the rust seems to go on and on. I can't tell where it stops or where it starts. So in this case, I would be scared and I would tap out. Don't trust your gut, trust the proven process. Grab the free inspection checklist so you don't miss the rust that you should walk away from.